I'm going to begin with some recitation of the Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم واستعينوا بالصبر والصلاة وإنها لكبيرة إلا على الخاشعين. And seek help through patience and prayer. And indeed, it is difficult, except for the humbly submissive. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون. Certainly will the believers have succeeded, they who are during their prayer humbly submissive. You may have noticed that the common theme in these ayat is mentioning the benefits of having khushu'. So, what is khushu'? Khushu' is to have complete humility, lowliness, and full concentration towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the key to unlocking that beautiful feeling of iman and connection to Allah in our hearts. A salah without khushu' can cause it to be rejected. We can see this in the hadith which Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu reported. A man entered the mosque and prayed while the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting in the masjid. After finishing the prayer, the man came to the Prophet and greeted him with salam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied and said, "Go back and pray, for you have not prayed." The man went back and prayed in the same manner as before, then came and greeted the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam again. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Go back and pray, for you have not prayed." This happened 3 times, and finally the man said, "O Messenger of Allah, I do not know any better, so teach me." The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "When you stand for prayer, say the takbir, then recite whatever you can from the Quran, then bow until you feel at ease in your bowing. Then rise until you stand up straight. Then prostrate until you feel at ease in your prostration. Then sit up until you feel at ease in your sitting. Then prostrate again until you feel at ease in your prostration. Do this throughout your entire prayer." This truly demonstrates the importance that khushu' has on prayer. The man lacked khushu' and serenity when he prayed. He lacked khushu' and serenity to the point that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the man did not even pray. Salah should be a time of comfort and connection to Allah, rather than a chore which it has been made to be nowadays. Also, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "A person may pray and receive a 10th, a 9th, an 8th, a 7th, a 6th, a 5th, a quarter, a third, or even a half of its reward. Even being temporarily distracted in the salah can lead to reward being diminished from it. I want you to imagine yourself, Yawm al-Qiyamah, you're stood in front of Allah, and He's reading out to your deeds. He's reading out to you your deeds. And He comes to the salah, and you only have a third. In the Quran, Allah addresses this. He says, وَأَنفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاكُم مِّن قَبْلِ أَن يَأْتِيَ أَحَدَكُمُ الْمَوْتُ فيقول رب لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين. And donate from what we have provided for you before death comes to one of you and you cry, "My Lord, if only you delayed me for a short while, I would give in charity and be from one of the righteous." This ayah does regard charity, but it's the same principle. We miss out on so many good deeds, especially because of loss of khushu'. So how can we increase our khushu'? Firstly, perform wudu' properly. Wudu' doesn't just cleanse the body, but it also cleanses the heart. Use the wudu' as a period to wind down and focus on the salah which you are about to pray. Put your phone on silent. Or even better, turn it off completely. Once a notification sounds or a call comes through, it will be on our minds for the rest of Salah and cause us to lose the concentration we need to attain the reward for our Salah. Understand the meanings of what you are saying. Fatiha is read a minimum of 17 times a day, every day. And let's say you live to the age of 70 years. This is a minimum of 372,000 times that you read the Fatiha. And some of us still don't know the meaning. Learn the meanings and what Allah responds after each ayah. Because Fatiha in Salah is a conversation with Allah. Try to read a surah which you have recently learnt. This focuses you on what to read next, as opposed to a surah which we can recite without even thinking about. Finally, make dua to Allah to allow you to have khushu' in Salah. The Prophet ﷺ used to make this dua. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من قلب لا يخشع ودعاء لا يسمع ونفس لا تشبع ومن علم لا ينفع أعوذ بك من هؤلاء الأربع. O Allah, I seek refuge in you from a heart that does not humble itself, and from a supplication that is not heard, and from a soul that is never satisfied, and from knowledge that does not benefit. I seek refuge in you from these four. May Allah grant us khushu' in Salah and be from those who enter Jannah through the door of Salah. May Allah grant us a pure intention and a priority over Salah over any other worldly acts. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.